Hey guys, it's Dave. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm working on my G35. I'm going to be changing the clutch fluid. It's a pretty simple process. Let me show you how it's done. Alright, so we're going to be taking the fluid out of this reservoir here. This is the clutch fluid reservoir. This is the brake fluid reservoir. Both of them are dark for sure, but I'm not having any issues with my brakes. I am having some issues with some pedal loss on the clutch after the car's nice and toasty, nice and warm. So we're going to be taking the fluid out of the top of this reservoir, and we're going to do that with this syringe. This is a medicine syringe that the wife picked up years ago. We don't use it anymore. It works out perfect for me. You can also use a turkey baster. I've done that in the past. You're going to need a bottle to catch the fluid. This is just a Gatorade bottle. This is some 1/4 inch line I picked up at Lowe's or Home Depot. The end was a little bit too small for the bleeder valve, and so I used a lighter, this screwdriver, to make sure I get a nice fit. You want this to fit on the nipple itself, on the bleeder valve, and not come off. Otherwise you'll add air into the system. You're going to need this 8mm wrench, some towels in case you make a mess, brake fluid. .3 I think is recommended for this car. .4 will work as well, but I think .5 is something that Nissan and Infiniti do not recommend. So let's get you set up, and we'll start this process. So I've got the reservoir pretty well cleaned out, except you can see all that nastiness sitting at the bottom. I'm just going to take a rag, just clean that out as best as I can. There's that nasty crap coming out. Put a little brake clean under this one. That's good enough. So now I'm going to fill this reservoir up with brake fluid, and then we'll start working at the bottom of the cup. Alright, the bottle was too big to tip over, and you don't want to get brake fluid on your paint, so I'm using the same syringe to put fluid back into the reservoir. You don't want this reservoir to be empty while you're bleeding, so you're going to have to always watch the fluid level in this container here. And that should do it for right now. We'll go to the bottom of the car. Alright guys, we're underneath the car. I'm going to try to show you that I filled this bottle up with brake fluid. You want to make sure your hose is all the way inside the brake fluid here, because as you're bleeding you don't want to introduce any air into the system. Alright, now you can see that I've got the hose on the end of the nipple. Now we're going to take our 8mm. We're going to pop the bleeder valve. It doesn't have to be like super loose, but it needs to have fluid coming through it. I didn't take the cap off of my system, so let me do that right now. Alright, so I'm going to start pumping the pedal. Fluid should coming out. It should have already come out now, which got me worried that I might have a stuck bleeder valve. All right, I'm ready. Go ahead. Hold it all the way down. Yeah, it is. All right, pump it again. Hold it. All right, hold it. There we go. You're building pressure now. All right, guys. As you can see, it didn't go as I planned, and so I had to get some help from my wife. We're going to bleed this system out by pumping and opening up the bleeder valve, letting the old fluid come out. We're going to continue to do that until we start getting clear fluid, and when we get there, I'll catch you back on. Yep. Alright guys, so I got my helper upstairs pumping. Wait until she gets a nice firm pedal. I come down here and I break it open for a second and close it pretty quickly. If you notice from the previous clips that the fluid is getting much lighter, that means we're cleaning out all the bad and putting in the new. Now, you have to maintain the reservoir up top and make sure that you're putting in new fluid as you take out the old. If you let that reservoir get empty, you know you're adding air into the system, and that's the worst thing you can do. So we're going to continue this, and I'll catch you back on soon. All right, so we have gone through a couple different refills. The fluid is looking much better than it was when we first started. We're gonna pump this a couple more times, and then I think we're gonna call it a day. So I'm just gonna show you, I think the best way to do it while your partner is holding it, don't keep it open for more than a fraction of a second, and just get a little bit out of the time. Otherwise it takes your partner a lot of pumps to build up pressure in the clutch pedal. So all right guys, so like I said, we went through a couple reservoirs of fluid here. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it by myself. It was not working correctly. But at the end of the day, we got all the old fluid out. The clutch pedal feels nice and firm. Everything goes into gear nice and smoothly. I think we're going to take it for a test drive. We'll cut you back on. So thanks guys for watching. Hope this helped you. If it did, consider subscribing. I got some ideas that I'm going to bring out. Definitely want to continue giving back to the YouTube community and just sharing my projects. Time will tell if this fixed the problem. If it didn't, then it looks like I think the cheapest option next is a master cylinder. No, sorry, slave cylinder, and then a master cylinder. Either way, we'll get it right. And if this doesn't fix it, I'll make sure to bring those other videos to